Hey, what's up? This is Gudii with a new video for hunting places for paladins. This time I'm going to show you where to do the Brimstone task together with giant spiders. This spawn is located in Krailos. You don't need any special quest to get access, but I do recommend doing the first couple of missions of Krailos to the very least get access to the depot, because it's gonna be helpful when dropping off loot and resupplying. To get here, you gotta walk all the way to the southeast of Krailos until you find a hole. Personally, I will just run past the ogres and sometimes I will kill my way in, that's entirely up to you. But once in the cave, I recommend killing your way in, because there's a lot of wailing widows and a few bugs that could paralyze you and get you drunk and possibly trapped if you try to run past them. The floor that you want to get to is the next one, and the hole is located in the west of the cave. Going down, there's a chance of luring a bunch of monsters, so I recommend just stand still and don't move too much to be better. Once you kill a few, you can start moving, and a good easy way to get started is to place a firewall rune on the center and start luring. This cave is popular for knights, which is how I found about it. Technically, most spawns that are good for knights will also be good for paladins, which is why I ended up trying it myself, and it turns out it's pretty good. The cave is big enough to hunt one by one without any trouble. Ideally, you want to keep on moving throughout the cave. After a couple hunts, I found that the best path is to make a triangle on these 3 spots, and when only focusing on them, you still won't run out of spawn. So moving throughout the entire cave is not efficient or necessary. As you can see, there's plenty of giant spiders. In fact, there's more spiders than the box, which is why you might finish 3 tasks of giant spiders and use 2 of brimstones. That's about the killing ratio on this spawn, which can be bad, especially if you already finished your giant spider task, because on this spawn alone it will take you multiple hunts to finish your brimstone task. Also, keep in mind that tasks are optional, you're not really forced to do them or finish them. They're helpful and I enjoy doing most of them, but you might think differently. One thing is for sure, the Brimstone task was probably the most painful and longest I did. Once I was done with my giant spider task, I ended up finishing the Brimstones on the Muggy Plains cave, which is not an alternative. It's a much smaller place and only with Brimstones, and requires you to wait for the respawn or to go to the surface and kill the other stuff in the meantime. The best cave is located in the northern plantations, which at the time I did not have access. Once I got it, I tried to do another Brimstone task on that cave alone, and even though the spawn is much bigger and you're able to do it quicker, it was still really annoying, similar to doing an underwater quarters task. But when it comes to making profit, they are pretty decent. The Brimstone dropped a lot of creature product and gold. I will always be maxing out my cap from the gold alone. In the Krailos cave, it's highly recommended to make loot packs, especially since there is a lot of knights that hunt there and usually just drop the battles into the floor. You could then end up making some really good loot bags every now and then, but that's up to you. The experience is not so good, but I wouldn't call it bad either. On the Krailos cave, at this level you should make around 315k on green and 210 on yellow. As for the profit, I actually saved all the loot I got from the Krailos cave while doing 1 full task of giant spiders and 1 of brimstones. Here's the screenshot. In total, we're talking about 180k from this, and possibly another 100k in gold and loot bags. Honestly, I don't remember, but I can tell you that I was pretty happy with the profit I was making on these hunts. So if you have access to the northern plantations, this task can be done entirely on the spawn there. If you don't have access, then you can do both giant spiders and brimstones in Krailos and finish 2 giant spider tasks in 1 of the brimstones. And that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you want to support the making of these videos, look up in the description for more information. See you next time. The boss is located in the Muggy Plains, all the way northeast in the mountains, and in terms of difficulty it's pretty easy to kill. As for the loot, it doesn't drop any rares, but it has a high chance of dropping a magic sulfur, which is an easy 80k.